Alright, what's going on, guys? Sean Don coming back with a technical analysis. Here we have Rebekah Anderton back for her second technical analysis. Last one I did was last April. Now she's a freshman in high school, prepping to hopefully break the freshman state record, I believe her father said. But yeah, so Rebekah and her father Aaron. I will address both of you. Yeah, so I went back and watched last year's analysis, and I took literally one look at this throw just before I started recording, and man, what a difference in the best way. Yeah, 2 winds now, 4 turns, feet looking much better. You can see more tension on the ball for sure, but then a little rhythm in there too. So, much improved. Like I said, I think last time I did the analysis, she had been throwing for like 5 months, and now this is obviously almost a full year after that. So plenty of time to work things out, and it looks like you guys have been doing a good job of that. So let's break it. I'm gonna watch it one more time. Sink down, setting the hips. Posture is pretty good. Yeah. So kind of same thing as last analysis. Things are much better. Posture. You're turning with the hammer better, but still got to learn to turn with the hammer even more. That's kind of hammer basics 101. Connection. Whole body connection with the hammer. Okay, but yeah, so 2 winds. I do like it. Nice and easy. Stable. I kind of like how you sit down into the legs right here. I'm not a huge fan of this right elbow. Never been a huge fan for any thrower seeing this right elbow kind of come drop down towards the rib cage. That's kind of a sign that the left side's going to pull throughout the throw because it makes it harder to connect early. And as you can see, his computer's a little slow today. Oh, never mind, I'm hitting the wrong button. So yeah, as you can see, as you come through 0 with the ball in the second wind, hands are kind of tight towards the body. You're centered, you're stable, which is great. You rise up a little bit, not a problem. If anything, I'd say maybe just stay down. You get down in this nice position right here, just try to stay there. No need to stand up like this and rise with the hammer. You kind of want to do the opposite. So as the hammer goes up, you kind of want to go down. As the hammer goes down, you kind of want to go up. As you can see, like I said, so you rise up a little bit, then the hammer comes down, and then you do a good job of working against it. AKA, like I said, as the hammer goes down, you go up. But might make it a little bit easier if you don't rise up with the hammer in that wind as it goes around behind your head. But yeah, that right elbow, still, you can see the tension from this left shoulder coming across the body. This right elbow is down. Shoulders level, hips level, setting up the left side well. But yeah, just got to get this right arm a little straighter, a little bit sooner. So as the hammer comes off of off the second wind through the entry, as it comes around the head, you want to think about reaching this right arm out towards the cage as much as possible, and trying to really have it. Honestly, ideally, it's never actually going to happen this way, but in a perfect world, you'd have your right arm already straight as the hammer hits 270. So right here, you'd want to reach your right arm out as much as possible. And obviously it's not possible because your left side is kind of the anchor here. And for your right arm to be totally straight, your left arm would also have to be another 2 feet or a foot longer, whatever it might be. But still reaching out with that right arm a little bit more, getting a little bit straighter. Like let's say if you could have your arms straight as the ball comes through, like right about here, that would help connection a ton, and that would help you turn with the hammer a lot better. You'd feel more tension in the good way. But yeah, like I said, this right elbow kind of comes down. You kind of come across the body with that left arm. But left side super stable. This is good. You had this. You were doing this good last analysis as well, but it's even better now. But then you can still see you are ahead of the hammer. So there's 2 things we can look at here. You can look at your body. Okay. So first and foremost, shoulders imagine your shoulders down to through both arms create a triangle. As you can see, there's almost a right triangle. So let's say as the body's facing 0, this right arm is perfectly straight. This shorter side, your shoulders straight, and then the hypotenuse of the angle, like I said, so you have like a right angle right here on this right arm to the right shoulder. Ideally, as you're facing 0 in the throw, you want the, I forget the term for it, isosceles or isosceles. I think that's right. You want pretty much the angle. I feel like I'm overcomplicating now. It's not geometry, but you do want this to be a little bit more even between the left and the right shoulder. As you can see, there's if we go forward 2, 3, 4 frames, once again you can see this left shoulder coming across the body, this left shoulder kind of dropping back into the sector, and this right arm still is not straight because all the tension's coming through this left side. So that's step 1 of identifying, like I said, if you're moving with the hammer or not. Like I said, you can look at the triangle between the shoulders and the arms. You want a little bit more isosceles, or a little bit more even, not lopsided to one side. And then secondarily, you can look at the angle of that triangle in relation to the hammer or hammer wire. And like I said, so this position wouldn't be as bad, and it's not terrible, but it wouldn't be as bad. Like I said, she's very young. I don't want to be overcritical. You guys are doing a great job. This position would be better if the hammer was also almost in line with this right arm. So let's say instead of let's say if you drew a line from your right shoulder through 0, this angle would probably be about 35, almost 40 degrees. If it was more like 15 degrees or 10 degrees, if this right hammer, or if the hammer was in line with like this right leg in this position right here, that would be better. But like I said, the left side's still doing a lot of leading, a lot of pulling. So you just need to be a little bit more patient and try to let the hammer get ahead just a little bit more in the entry. And you can see, like I said, as ball comes through 0, your lower body is doing a better job turning with the hammer. You just need to, or I should say your lower body's doing a better job turning together. Whereas before, your left side would turn independently of your right leg. Like your right leg was kind of stopping and your left leg was kind of going ahead independent. But now they're kind of turning together, which is good. But now you just need to get more together with the hammer. So your body's learning. Now you just need to learn how to get the whole system working together, not just the body as its system. It's kind of 2 parts of the whole, the body and the hammer. Both things have to do the right thing if you want to throw really far, in my opinion. But yeah, still a little bit left toe reaching, but not bad. And then you come around and you can think about kind of driving this right hip towards the high point. So here, think about trying to reach that right hip, use your core and reach that right hip towards the high point, and try to step forwards a little bit. As you can see, you're going to come around and catch just a little bit over rotated, meaning your right foot's a little bit in front of your left foot. This catch position's good, stacked over the hips, shoulders level, a little bit of separation between the hips and shoulders. But because you over rotate, if you look at the throw as a whole, you do kind of drift down this, what would be left sector line. And they kind of work hand in hand. If you catch over rotated like this left side's going to pull even more than it already is. And with the left side already pulling an entry, that's also maybe why this right foot lands late, because you have too much rotational energy. There's not enough balance between the rotational and the linear movement of the throw. Otherwise, lower body, like I said, turning better together. But this little kind of funky position here, you get that left heel down before 0, but you can see the direction of where this left heel comes down. In my opinion, I'd say this left heel, you'd probably want it to come down and point. You would want your foot pointing more towards 180, or maybe even this right sector line a little bit, whereas instead you see as this left heel comes down right there, it's pointing this way just outside of the left sector line, or what would be the left sector line. Once again, like I said, that's kind of indicative of the direction of the throw. And then your left shoulder is also pulling down this right sector line. So you kind of have this weird cross sort of pattern of movement of like your lower body wants to go this way, but your upper body wants to go that way. You want both of them kind of lined up together going down towards 180. So your lower body is turning better. Then this is interesting here. It's turning, and then like your right heel almost comes down, plants, and then your left side opens up a little bit. So same thing as in the previous turn. As the hammer goes through 0, think about working this right hip to the high point. You see, because that left side is kind of going a little too soon. This left leg opens up and this right leg kind of comes off late. So you had better connection in that first turn, but the second turn, because that first catch was a little bit late, your body starts to, what's the term? Disconnect from itself. Left leg, right leg turning independently again. And then because the right leg comes off a little bit late, this right arm, or the right leg kind of, once again, kind of discus sweeps around that left leg. Then you catch a little bit late again, not catching as deep as you were in the first turn because that left side's doing more, that left leg opened more. And then same thing, if I just looked at the position, like let's say if I disregarded the hammer and I didn't know where you were throwing right now, if I looked at this position based on your lower body, it looks like 180, or where you're trying to throw, is more this way as opposed to straight out into the sector. But like I said, left heel comes down, and I guess this is perhaps a little bit more like a Primos Cosmos style throw. So maybe watch him as a technical model, perhaps. He's one of my favorites. And same thing, the heel comes down. Your hips are a little bit back, and they're going to go back more. Just a slight disconnection. You want your hips more towards the hammer than away. Because if your hips are away, that means you can't really work through your legs to transfer energy up into the hammer. Imagine it like it's kind of like a clean or a snatch. Triple extension. Your hips extend forwards, and that's how you transfer energy up into your shoulders, through your hands, into the hammer, and then it works its way around the left. And then same thing as in the previous turn, getting a little bit more drastic here. Left leg opens more. Very interesting position. Left leg pointed to 180. Right leg pointed probably just after 90. Hammer somewhere in between the two. And then left side tension. Right leg discus sweep sort of thing. And then catch even later here. And then kind of same thing again. You can see you're nice and relaxed through the upper body, which is great, which is kind of what salvages this throw. You come through on the finish. Yeah. So, like I said, for high school freshmen, not bad at all. Especially seeing the video last year and this year, big improvements. Yeah, so like I said, the left side's still a little bit overactive. You can see she travels down this left sector line, or what would be the left sector line. And that's all because of this right here. This left side pulling shortens the path of the ball around the left, which means you have less time to put your right foot down. It's a little bit too rotational. So it's really just the entry in this first catch. I'd say if you can get the ball, if you can be more patient with the ball in the entry, and then you can get it to go around this left side, straighten this right arm out a little bit sooner, and then feel the ball kind of pull you forwards and step forwards, and catch with your right foot more in the direction of the sector than your left foot. So if you call this like a over rotation, I'd like to see you slightly under rotate, and I'd like to see your right foot kind of come down about here. Disregarding where the ball is, that doesn't matter. I just want your right foot to be a little bit more in the direction of 180. And you catch with the same sort of angle, if you will, but you're just a little bit closer to 180 with his right foot. You'll have more pressure that you can work with, and this left heel will come down sooner in this turn, and then literally every other turn will be better, because like I said, it's just his very first catch and this first double support that kind of sets the whole tone for the whole throw, which is this left side's pulling a little bit too much, left heel comes down a little bit late, lower body's kind of going down the left sector instead of kind of, like I said, facing down. 180. So I think there were a lot of things in here that I said that I think could help you out. Hopefully you guys can interpret them. But yeah, like I said at the start of the video, just more turn drills. Easy turn drills. No release. 6, 8, 10 turns, nice and easy. Feeling the lower body work together with the hammer. So your lower body's working better together in itself, the right leg and the left leg. Now you just need to learn to do that with the hammer more. And that's going to be, do that for 10 years, and you'll throw 80 meters, or whatever your goal is. I still am working on those very same things 10 years into my career. So I also didn't have anybody telling me to do that, I think, until like year 7 though. So you got to jumpstart. So yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions. Happy to help. Thanks for watching. Sean Don. Peace now.